Hello guys, in previous video I informed all of you how to build a strong defense, specifically through the T1 troops. And in this particular video I'm gonna speak about all the mistakes that you can do it where you would be having the bad outcome. So if you know about all those mistakes priorly, then obviously you're not gonna do the same, right? So I'm gonna speak about all the if and but scenarios where the things can go wrong, and I will give you the example as well, and also why in the previous video I was informing you that only that's how you need to do the things, right? So if you have the better understanding, then obviously you can do the better defense, and obviously you can also improve the things by yourself, right? So now let's get into it. Now guys, firstly let's speak about some basic information. Guys, you know that in the previous video I was showing you this particular layering, that's how you have to do the layering in order to win every time in terms of power loss, right? But still guys, in the game, not everyone wants to play it like that, right? There are the players what they want, that I'm not doing the attacking, I just want the defense and ghostings and all. I don't want to do all of those stuffs. So for those players, who only want the defense, they don't care much about the power loss difference as well, right? They just want to see that I'm not getting zeroed easily, right? And even from the biggest player. So what they do, they just simply follow the all of these layers. What I'm showing you in this particular image, you firstly have the all of these layers, and after that, whatever the higher tier troops you have, just simply leave those within your keep, right? You're not gonna get zeroed easily. Now for the players, who is pretty much specific about, I want to win even in terms of the power loss as well, and I do the attacking as well. So for those, how you need to do it. Firstly, you make the all of these layers, whatever the in these pictures you can see it, and after that, whatever the higher tier troops you have. Now guys, firstly let me show it to you. I have lot more troops, except the whatever the layers I'm showing it to you, and apart from the T1s as well, right? Right? You can see it, right? The 20 million, I have the T2, and right now I have more T1 troops as well, 360 million. I am targeting the 500 million as of now, right? Firstly, I would say guys, if you want to have the little bit more into the T2, you can have it, but firstly focus on your T1, whatever I'm showing in that image. And once you have those, then you can do the these stuff as well. So let me show it to you how I'm doing it. I have already made the march preset for my attacking marches, right? You can see it, this is for the mounted. I have made the mask preset, and here this is for the extra caps what I have in my keep, to ghost them. This mask preset is for those, right? And this one is there for my range march preset, right? And here you can see this one is there for the ground, right? This preset is for the ground, and here I'm ghosting my siege machine. I don't have the much siege machine, right? And right now I don't have the specific siege march available, so I'm just generally ghosting it. And in the battlefield, what I do, I just simply quickly do it like this, you know march, another one, just simply ghost it like that. you know Now all of my troops are ghosted. Now in the keep, the only troops are there that is according to the image for the layering part that you need to do it. If in case you do not have that many troops, then things would be much easier for you in terms of ghosting your troops, right? So, or if you in the starting stage, then it would be better for you to build, in the initial stage only the necessary tools to complete the layering and one or two attack marches so that you can easily move. So exactly that's how guys you have to do it. Now guys, let me speak about the layering part. What kind of the mistakes I usually see that the peoples are making, in the layering part, right? Guys, firstly, most of the people, what I have seen that they think that siege and range are pretty safe within the keep, so we can use the lot of the siege and range and they cannot be targeted directly, so we can use those things within a keep to protect our caps and for the better defense, right? But things actually do not goes like that, and even I can understand why they think it like that, because most of the people do not possess the good siege march. Usually the higher buff siege march, you will see that the higher level people are possessing those marches. So guys, let me show you the how siege march actually do it. They directly kill your siege first, and after that they kill the archers. So let me show you guys, the firstly this particular report, how the siege march is actually working, right? So that you can understand what troops you have to leave in your keep or what not, right? Guys, so I had the one reports available where I was leaving all of my archers, within my keep, and I was losing hugely, from the siege march. But unfortunately, I have lost that report. So, instead of that, I'm showing this particular report. So guys, here you can see this particular guy. This he, he's the K40 guy, and usually he's having the the 4 million plus Mars site, but right now he's just simply using the 1.7 m Mars size, and what troop he's using is the siege march, right? 2100% attack march for the siege. What he's using, right? And let me show it to you. Firstly his marks, this is what he's using, the sum of the T14, sum of the T13, and the sum of the T12, and around 1 million T11 siege. Let's see the outcome what his siege has did. His siege, firstly, as I informed you, firstly siege killed the siege, so he has killed my T13 siege, T12 siege. Here my 1 million, the T11 siege is gone, 400 get T10 is gone, and even in the bottom you can see that the all of my the siege is no longer there. His siege has killed all of my siege, even till the bottom, right? And after the siege, what siege target is the range troop. So now here you can see I had the 140k around the T14, those are gone. Even T13 archers are gone, 200k, and even the 200 something, the T12 archers are also gone, and in 200k even the T11 archers are gone, right? Similarly T10 archers, 9 archers, right? So even till the bottom, you can see the siege has targeted the range as well, and now my archers are also gone, right? You can see in this particular video, right? T2 archers gone, and here it has stopped at the the T1, right? While killing the sum of it, my mounted raised his siege march and killed all of his the siege troop, right? If he would have had the 4 million plus his usual siege march, then obviously he would have killed the T1 range troop as well. But afterwards, things are difficult for the siege march, and obviously he would have lost more, so that's why he only used the 1.7 million march size, right? And here you can see it, right? The 1.7 million, right? And other report that I had lost it, on that report I had the 1 million T13, around 800k T14 archers, and even the lot of the archers were there. So the on that time that other guy used the 4 million troops, siege march, right, and killed all of my archers and the siege, through that T11 siege march, right? And why, he was using the T11 siege march? Because we are the, lower buff opponent, so he do not need to use the higher tier siege march and lose the more point through that. So that's why, what the, these K40 or higher buff people do it. They use the T11 siege march on the lower buff player like us, those are having the, the T1 defense kit, and take out all of our siege and also the all of our archers, through their siege mark. So that's why, guys, you should not keep higher amount of the siege, otherwise you would be the pretty easy target for them, right? The moment you will drop the bubble, they just gonna, come up with the siege, right? And what is the point if every time you losing the more, right? And suppose if in case you are there into the any server where, is the bubble or burn, right? There is no peace time, right? It would be, pretty hard for you to drop the bubble, right? Because every time, they would gonna simply gonna hit you with their lower tier, siege march, and will take out all of your archer and even the siege as well. So that's why, do not make huge quantity of those, because it will only going to make things difficult for you. And even, guys, apart from it, let's take a look at the debuff part as well, right? I'm doing the, around the 1,000, I'm doing the debuff to his, the siege machine attack, right? And defense and HP is, the approx to none that I am, the debuffing, right? And even, guys, if you are around the K34, K35, or even just have reached the K36, you need to understand one thing: if you're not spending big, then through the game given ways, having the defense and HP debuff for siege is just not there, right? So automatically you cannot compete with the higher buff player, those are having the siege march, right? While at the same time, he can purely debuff all of your siege, exactly in the halfway. So I hope, guys, now you have understood, why you should not and must not, keep the higher amount of the siege and the range in your keep. Now, guys, let's speak about the real difference. Let me show you some reports whether leaving the those siege or even the archers within your keep is making the any difference or not, or what kind of the difference they are making, right? So, guys, let's quickly see, what kind of the difference is there. Let me show it to you. Now, guys, let's take a look at this particular report, right? Losing the 142 million power, and this guy is losing the 252 million power, right? 3 million is the mass size what this guy is having. The, he is the K40 guy, and here you can see, he's using the 2100, the range march. And let's see, what I have in my key, guys. I have 800k, the T14 archers within my keep, 1 million T13 archers within the keep, 100k T13 siege, 400k range troops, T12, 500k T12 siege machine, 230k range troops, and 1.1 million, the T11 siege. And below all the layers, the 400k T10, and you can see below all the layers, is what I have, right? Now you can see you from the T5, the mounted layers are there, right? T4 mounted layers, ground layers, right? T3 mounted around the 1 million, and I have the T2 mounted around the 13 million, and below it I had the 300 million, the T1 mounted troop. And this guy was attacking us with the 3 million, from the 3 million march size, the with the range troop, right? This guy was attacking us, right? And checking out the power, what we are losing over here. We are losing 142 and this guy is losing the 252 right? And let's take a look at over here as well. I had the mounted around the 788, 708, 704, right? This was the my mounted buff over here, right? Now, guys, let's take a look at this particular report. Now again the K40 guy with the 4.5 million mass size is almost the 4.6 million mass size. He's losing the 350 amp power and I'm losing the around the 90 amp power. And let's see what he's using. He's also coming with the range mass that is the 2100 percentage, right? Pretty much good range mass. And here you can see our mounted buff is little more than the previous report in terms of the percentage buff, right? It is the 821%, 730%, and 724%, little more percentage in the mounted, as compared to the previous report, right? So what exactly, is the difference in this particular report that this guy is coming with the 4.5 million march and you using the approximately same buff, right? And but still we only using the 90 amp power. Am I using the more troops as compared to the previous report, more archers, more siege, what I'm using? So guys, let's quickly, take a look at this particular report. You can see I don't have the 800k, just the some layers over here. Neither I have the 1 million archers over here. Neither compared to the previous report, I have the 100k something siege over here. Just the some little layers I'm leaving. Neither I have the 400k plus T12 archers over here. Neither I have the 500k, the T12 siege machine over here. Just the small layers, right? You can see it over here. Just only 1 million siege machine is here. Usually I even ghost these as well. And sometimes I do not even mind, to. But apart from it, I don't have, the any higher tier troop, just the small layers what I have in my keep. And in previous report, I clearly had the 1 million archers, 800k T14 archers, 400k, T12, and even the some T13 and T12 siege as well. But I don't have any of those. So what exactly is making the difference? So if I will go below, right, guys, you can see that I have the, the approximate everything is same, just the little more T2 mounted troop over here. In the previous report, I had the 13 million, and here I have the 21 million. So 7, 8 million more is there, and even over here as well, right? In the previous report, I had the 300 million in total mounted troop, and here I have the 14 million more, mounted troop over here in the T1, right? So guys, you can clearly see that, I have reduced down the, those higher tier troops, range troop, and even the siege as well, and increased the just little value of, the T1 mounted troop, and over here, the T2 mounted troops, right? And it has drastically changed the outcome, right? And you can also see over here, what troop he's using and exactly how he's using, right? He's, coming with the, the T14 range troop with all the layers, right? Then the T13, and again, here he's using the T12 as a big one, and with all the layer, from top to bottom, what he's using, pretty proper range march, what he's using with us, right? Now guys, here you can clearly see, this is the difference it is making, right? The just changing the value of T1 caps has delivered the huge difference. So, and guys, even it should be the pretty much loud and clear to us. So guys, what do you expect that this your siege and your archer will gonna do against, these kind of buff player, right? Where, even their debuff would be the pretty huge in terms of the attack, defense, and HP in the everything. They will just completely gonna half you, right? So what do you expect that your archers or even your siege or any other troops will do against their buff march, right? So that's why guys, you only need to focus on the T1 caps, because only that is the thing that is helping you to go against the that much higher buff player, right? Now guys, let's speak about the flat refines and the percentage refine as well, right? As all of you already do know that the T1 defense key work on the basis of flat refines, and but how exactly those are working, right? Firstly, guys, you need to understand one thing, that T1 troops is having the pretty low base value, right? So what these flat refines actually do it, they just simply, you can just simply add all of these numbers, to the base value of T1 Pro. But the percentage refine do not work like that. What they do, suppose here is the HP by 15%. So this percentage one will see that, what is the base value of the troop. So whatever would be the base value of mounted T1 mounted troop, you can extract the 15% of base value and can add to the base value of mounted troop. So that's how the percentage refine are actually working. So it's not like percentage refine is not adding anything to the T1 troops, but it's just that they are adding the pretty low value if we gonna compare it with these flat refines. But still, as we going for the T1 defense keep, and according to the layering part, guys, I have informed you that we're not gonna use the much siege, not even the archer, not even the much ground. It would be fully focused on the T1 calves, right? And with the just some of the layers to support those T1 calves to work properly, right? Hence, that's why, guys, I am suggesting that you go with the flat refines on the defense general gear, plus you also go for the generals, from where you can get the percentage refine as well, right? Like from here I'm also adding the skill book as well, right? Because it's not like these are not adding anything. Definitely these are adding, but definitely pretty less as compared to the those flat refines, right? But guys, this is not the only reason why I'm asking you to go with the mounted generals, to do the mounted specific things. There are even the more reasons, right, guys? For that, let me show you one report to you. Now, guys, let's take a look at this particular report. Here, guys, you can see I have lost the 130 m million power, and this guy has lost the 149, around 150 million power, 2.3 m march size, and this guy is coming with the ground troops, right? And let me show it to you. This guy is having the 1273%, around the 1300% ground march, with the HP and defense is around the 1000% and above the 1000%, right? And guys, let's see here my buff as well. This is the pretty old report. I'm trying to increase my percentage buff as well for the mounted troop as well, right? There's a huge difference as compared to the his ground march. The what are the buff are over here. I know you guys know that I do the flat refine, so but in this particular report, firstly, guys, let me show you the one thing, that I don't have any T1s left right now, because I showed you in the initial part of the video that I ghost all of my higher tier troops and only leave the layers and also the T1 T2 for the defense part, right? So in the battlefields, after the rally and the numerous hit, once my T1s are gone, what I do, I basically use my higher tier troops for the attacking part, as all of those are in the attacking order. Otherwise, sometimes if I see the marches like these, as this guy was using the ground, so I release my those troops for the defense as well, right? Let me show it to you guys. Now, guys, here he's coming with the ground troops. This is his the march, some T11 T2 with the 1 million of the grounds, right? Here some T13 and the T14. That's how this guy is using. And here, guys, you can see that the my higher tier, the ground is being lost, right? And afterwards my calves has completely obliterated his the ground troops, his ground march. His ground march is just unable to make a dent even on my higher tier troops. You can see that how well my mounted troop is working against his ground march. Now look at the buff difference. It is 700 something, 600 something, and here is it 1200. The HP is also the dislike, right? And even you can see his debuff as well. He's approximately trying to debuffing my buff into the half, right? But still, my mounted is actually killing his ground, pretty efficiently, and that is exactly how. Because guy, you have to understand one thing, that you're doing the flat refines on your wall general gear, and that is specifically for the mounted, right? So on these mounted, now even the those flat refines is also applied, and also your these percentage buff as well, right? So now those percentage buff and also those flat refine, what they do, they make your higher tier calves a beast. So that's why guys, I am suggesting you to even go for the percentage refine, because those percentage refine is not only just beneficial for your T1 mounted, it's also beneficial for your higher tier mounted troop as well, right? And even more importantly guys, right, it's not like the every time you would be able to to keep your bubble up, right? There would be the times when you forgot to bubble up, now your bubble has dropped and someone has come to attack you. So you have to understand one thing, that most of the players, what they do, they have the range march, and most of the player is also having the ground march as well, right? So even with the range march, as long as the K40 kind of the people are not coming up, even the most of the people, even through their range march, will not be able to take out your higher tier caps. And the reason is why, because T1 defense keep is what I informed you in the previous video, that you have to go heavy on the range troop debuff, right? So you debuffing your range troop pretty heavily, plus in the percentage and the flat refine, you going for the mounted, right? So these become the pretty much beast. So even the many player with the range troop as well, even the mid player or little bit higher level player, would gonna have the so much difficulty even in terms of taking out your these mounted higher tier mounted calves, right? And apart from it, any ground march is coming, they will just simply take care of all those ground march, right? Just improve even the percentage buff over here as well, and your higher tier calves will become the beast. Right now this is the ground march coming, even the 1400 1500% ground march is coming. If you able to take out it above the 800 or around the 900, they will take care of all those ground marches pretty much instantly, these calves, right? If you making this setup exactly according to what I showed you in the previous video, right? So you have to understand this part as well, right? Because not the every time your bubble would be up. Instead of doing the half-baked things like delivering the some buff over the ground, some over the range, some over the siege, guys, it's not gonna benefit anything, right? So, and even guys, even if suppose the higher level player is coming to attack you now, because you doing the pretty much heavy on the percentage buff as well, and even on the flat refine as well. So because of that, what happened, this would be beneficial to the those players who do not like to ghost the things, just leave their keep, you know without ghosting anything, right? Because now even the K40 player will gonna have the difficulty, because their first range to what that gonna do, for that is going to take out your higher tier mounted troops, and will not even gonna reach the below layers of the mounted, and then they have to come up with the another range march, just in order to take out the the more mounted from your keeps, and to reach the below layer of your the T1 cast, right? So guys, this is the reason why you should go heavy on your even the percentage one, and even the flat refine as well, right? Now guys, this was all about the percentage and the flat refine, and why we do the combination of both. And let me inform you one more thing, that in this particular video I am excluding the one more crucial factor, that is making the or delivering the huge benefit, in terms of doing the flat refine plus the percentage refine, right? I will cover up that particular topic potentially in the some other video, because that is the very crucial information, right? So apart from it guys, now guys, let me a little bit speak about the ghosting part as well, because if in case you have the much higher number of the truth just like me, then it's gonna be the little bit difficult in terms of ghosting, depending on the situation, right? So in which order you should ghost your troops? So let me inform you. Firstly, you always ghost your higher tier caps, and afterward you ghost your grounds, and afterward you can ghost your siege and range troop. And the reason is why, because if I will speak from the K40 or higher level players, then attacking you with range march or ground march is the common sense, right? Usually siege march comes into the play when people have the scout of your keep and they're seeing that you're leaving the lot of the siege and the range within your keep, right? Only then K40 or the higher level player, is attack you with the siege march, right? Otherwise, for the higher level player, those are the 6 7 billion or much higher level players, to attack those players with the siege march is the common sense. So now guys, this is about the ghosting part. Now, guys, let me speak about the, one more factor as well. Whatever the solution I'm delivering within this video and also in my previous video as well, is by considering the fact that most of you, are not willing to spend heavy on the game, right? Means you're not spending hugely within the game. You might be spending a very little or, the some amount, or you might not even willing to spend anything on the game. So by considering those factors, I'm delivering you the this particular solution, and that is the one of the best solution for you. But if in case some of you are the heavy spender who are actually willing to spend pretty heavy on the game, then you should go for the higher tier true defense. That would be more beneficial for you. And those kind of the defense is always the C centric defense, right? So I might not even suggest you the T1 defense if you willing to spend pretty huge or n number of amount into the game, right? But if you are not the huge spender or only spending the very little into the game or approximately nothing, then this particular solution is the best for you, and the T1 defense is the one and only option, for you through which you can do the effective defense, right guys? So guys, this is about the video, and I will post the link of first part of the defense city video, at the end of this particular video, and also in the video description I will mention the link of the that particular video. So do watch that particular video as well, so that you can know the whole setup how to implement the T1 defense. So yep guys, this is it for this particular video, and thank you and thanks for watching. Bye bye.